Lunch Therapy. It's Hump Day. Welcome to Hump Day on Lunch Therapy. Great to be here. For those of you who have never seen Lunch Therapy before, this is going to be something a little weird for you. It's a chance to interact with people, breathe, get interested in something that is not your work or your family. You can chat, put chats in the show. We are fully live today, so if you want to chat, please. Here's one of our chat people here, Guignel, saying "hoy." That's how we say hi on the show. We say "hoy." Not sure why, but that's why. But that's what we do. So anyway, I have actor Jon Curry here. He's in the green room. You might be able to hear him. He's coming on. It's going to be very exciting. He and I are both University of Washington drama students.
Go Dogs.
Yeah, go Dogs. And we've gone our separate paths, and we are convening here to compare notes on what the hell has been going on in our acting careers and our life and all that stuff. So there's going to be a small contest at the end. Jon doesn't know this, but it's fairly easy and fun, so it should be good. So as we do on all episodes of Lunch Therapy, we're going to breathe. So let's get into the show. I'm going to get myself a modem. 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 All right, so this is the breathing portion of the show. This is where I calm down and breathe, and we all, check in with one another. Todd Lee is here. We're going to take in a deep breath. Hold it. Let it go. Todd can only be here for a second, but he is a fellow Mercer Island graduate. He grew up on Mercer Island. I don't know if Jon knows him. Who knows? It could be, they were there around the same time. There are a few other people. He says hi, Todd, from the chat or from the green room. He's in there with Boney. In through the nose, out through the toes. Boney, don't touch him. Just don't touch the guests. Let it go.
Boundaries, Boney.
I know. He always has to touch people. I mean, he figures, he doesn't have lungs, so he can't give anybody any kind of COVID or anything. Class of 85, Todd Lee.
85, Todd Lee. Class of 86, buddy.
All right.
Nice.
In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. There are a few people that Jon might know that we know. I don't know. We're going to find out. There's going to be a lot of crossover, I think, unless somehow we went through the same experience and didn't meet any of the same people, but we're going to find out. One more breath, in through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. All right, let's get into this thing. I'm going to give a little intro about Jon here. Now, Jon and I met just now, so that's pretty exciting. Also, my neighbor across the street from me, Brian Thurber, said, "Hey, you should interview Jon on the show." And I was like, heck yeah, let's get him on the show. So I contacted Jon. Here we are. It's going to be kind of exciting because we're going to, try and we're basically meeting each other, and then we're going to hang out, and everybody's going to be here, and it's going to be fun. I wanted to say this Friday, I have Jim Meskimen on the show. He's an impressionist, hilarious impressionist. Do you know him? You know him?
He's a legend, yeah.
He is a
voiceover.
legend. Yeah, so he's going to be on the show. There you go. There's your testimonial right there. He's a legend. But today we have Jon Curry on the show, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about him, in case you don't know. You might know because you've seen him. You've seen his face in a million things. Literally a million. He attended the University of Washington alongside me. He got a bachelor's degree. He then, from what I understand, went to Temple University in Philadelphia. Yep.
Thurber.
And then he studied with Uta Hagen. We're going to talk about that, which is crazy. And you've seen him on a million shows like Frasier, Grey's Anatomy, NCIS, Rizzoli and Isles, Bones. Anyway, we're going to get into it. He's going to explain to you what it's like to work with Steven Spielberg. Yeah, we're going to get into this thing. All right, so it's a live guest. Yeah, he's not taped. This is not taped. This is just happening. Right
There's Mercer Island right there, buddy.
Nice
Island.
Shot. Nice, huh? Yeah,
Dude,
I found it. I found some Mercer Island.
Great glamour shots of our fair city.
Yeah,
wow.
That of course is the
Montlake Cut right there.
Montlake Cut. Thank you very much.
There's where all the crew races.
That's right. That's where they race the cement boats. You ever hear of the cement boats?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, concrete boats, I believe.
That's right.
Vernus is here. All right, let's get into this thing.
Vernus,
so Jon cannot be a disembodied voice here. I'm going to play a little clip at the beginning so you get a little bit of perspective on Jon. So here we go.
Dad,
Don't get up, dirtbag. Hey,
I am not going back to Salt Lake, like, ever.
you're coming with me, even if I have to carry you out of here, Mary Beth. Mary Beth?
My name's Crystal now.
Talk about that in the car. Come on.
You can't just kidnap
Come on.
me.
Back off. I'm reserve deputy sheriff. Put the gun down.
Hotel LA Rendezvous Bar. There's a man with a gun.
What did you
Drop your guns.
do? No. Let me go!
I'm okay, sir. Please keep going. Find my daughter.
Jackson, get this officer out to an RA. There's one on the way.
Hey, her name is Mary Beth.
All right, I got you.
Gonna need your gun, George.
I didn't discharge it. This is from his bullet.
No, we still got a test. You're a long way from home, George.
I've been looking for my daughter ever since she took off last year. Then she called her mom on her birthday about a week ago.
And you traced your phone.
It's all legal. The rest was easy. She was engaged before. Nice guy. Why do some girls always have to look for trouble? Yeah, won't kill me.
Count your blessings, right?
Yeah. You got kids, officer?
Not yet.
Yeah. Little advice from the front line. Save yourself the grief. I promised her mother I'd bring her home. She's only 22.
She's an adult, man.
Doesn't make her a grown-up.
Doesn't make her a grown-up.
Doesn't make her grown up.
All right, there he is.
What's
Jon,
up, guys?
It's great to see
Hey,
you.
buddy. JoelMarshall.com.
We got our Seattle
happening?
stuff on.
Yep, go Dogs.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay, so let's get into this thing because
Okay.
you're from Mercer Island.
Yep,
You went to the University of Washington
I did.
around the same time I did, I believe.
When did you start?
I
87?
started in 85.
Okay, so I
85?
I graduated 86.
You
Am I?
did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you graduated Mercer Island, 86.
Mercer Island 86, started UW that fall.
Okay, so we were there around the same time.
Yeah.
We're both in fraternities, right? Were you in a
Yeah,
fraternity?
which house were you in?
I was in Sigma Nu.
Oh, yeah, I was a teak.
Couple of frat guys in the drama department, which is a weird
Yes,
thing to do, right?
It was a bizarre anomaly. And one of my professors, who perhaps you had, Dr. Sue Ellen Case,
Yes, of course.
she liked me a lot
Yeah.
before she found out I was in a
ask
fraternity.
you about that. I was going to
And
ask you
then
about
once
her.
she knew I was a
Yeah.
fraternity, then she
Yeah.
decidedly did not care for me.
Oh my God, I had the hardest time
Nothing
in her
had changed.
class.
Oh,
She
I
was one of
think
the-
I dropped it.
She was one of the prominent. She wrote a book on women in theater, and it was feminist theater.
Feminist theater. Yep.
And I never wore my Greek letters when I was in the drama school. I had
Yeah.
one that said like Phi Upsilon, which was like fuck you.
Yeah.
But that was the only one I didn't. That was the only one I wore around.
I want that.
Yeah, I made it up myself. I got them to make
I want
it.
that.
And
That's
then-
great.
Then, but yeah, I was in her class. She went on a rant because I had said something like I liked blues music, and she was saying that I was just a white guy that was,
Yep.
enjoying the suffering.
Yeah, you were
African
piggybacking
American.
on the suffering, and therefore you were not allowed to enjoy to be a
Yeah.
blue. You can't like BB King.
And
you
from
cannot
then
like BB King.
on, yeah, it was just, and she would even make fun of me. Like I was in this play, Our Town.
Oh
Robin,
yeah.
I forget what her name is. But
Robin
she
Hunt directed.
Yeah, Robin Hunt directed it.
Yep.
We'll get into that. And
Awesome.
afterwards, and I played. Oh God, what's the guy's name? I forget.
Were you
But
like
anyway-
the narrator, storyteller? What the
No,
hell
I
is his
wasn't.
name?
I wasn't the stage manager.
Stage
I
manager.
was Howie, 10 Below
Howie.
by the barn.
Yeah.
I was like the milkman. I was the milkman. And I had a horse, and the whole thing was pantomime. Like there were no
What
props.
stage was that on? Were you in the round? Was that
It
in
was
the?
at the
the round?
Thrust Theater down there.
Okay.
God, this is going to
can't
really
remember.
tax my memory.
I
And
know.
that's in a good way, I think. So yeah, so there I am playing Howie, and I've got my horse, and I'm doing, petting the horse, and it's not a horse. Because we were just doing it completely without props. So the next day I saw her, and she goes, "Does this mean horse?" That's what she said. "Does this mean horse?"
She was literally mocking your pantomime.
Yeah, I was like patting the horse and
Brutal.
doing all them, getting the milk out and stuff. And she just did not like it.
She
Did not like me.
Ruthless. Did not like
Ruthless.
either of us. I can tell you that. It's so
yeah.
funny because somehow it was okay for drama students to be in a sorority, women,
Yeah.
but not us. Like
No.
we were the bad guys because we must all be like them. Like,
Yeah, totally. Let's see what old Todd Lee says here. He said
he said
Keith
JB
Sutherland.
Danes and Carl Lombardi, who are both PC 85 ahead of me, great guys. JB Danes lives close. He's down in Carlsbad, I think. I'm not sure where Lombardi lives, but JB is, and Carlsbad has horses. And gone to a couple Rose Bowls with him.
Sam
So, yeah,
Chapin.
that's
Do you know
cool.
Sam Chapin? Sam Chapin.
Chapin, yeah. Yeah, it's been a long time. Oh my God. That's
He's like
incredible,
he's
dude.
like a judge or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So Dr. Sue Ellen Case, she assigned me a research paper on Fassbinder, who I had never heard of course. And so I decided in classic style that I would leave it to the night before, of course. Why would you prepare
That's what you
your
have to do.
research paper? So I go to the stacks in Suzzalo. I go down there. Not a single piece of literature about Fassbinder is in English. Everything is in German. And of course, I don't speak German. So I was just totally screwed. And I think at that point, I decided to drop her class. I was like, I was so doomed at that point when I got up and I just gave some half-ass report. She's like, "That's the worst thing I've ever heard."
Yeah.
Like, I can't even
Great.
believe you would
Thanks.
march in
She
here
was
with that. I'm like,
so
I got to
cruel.
drop your class.
That woman was cruel.
She was brutal, man.
I don't know where she is now, but I hope she's not seeing this pod.
I don't know, man. She scarred me for a long time.
I was frightened, but I was frightened most of the time I was at the UW drama school.
Were you?
Yeah, because
How come?
because in high school, always knew I wanted to be an actor from like 3 years old.
Yeah.
But I didn't know any actors. I didn't know how to act. I didn't know anything about it. So I got.
That doesn't matter in Hollywood.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that at the time. So I thought I had to be super, super good, and I didn't know what I was doing. And I got myself immediately into like a Shakespeare class with this guy, Edward Payson Call. I don't know if you ever saw him.
I don't
But
have to take anything.
He started
with him.
scanning,
Yeah.
doing scansion.
Iambic
with the text.
pentameter.
Iambic pentameter, and I didn't know what that was. And I was like, oh, they found me.
How would you?
They found me out. I didn't know.
Yeah.
And
Imposter.
I was a total imposter. I got totally stressed out. Luckily, somebody gave me a book, and they were like, "Here, read this book." So I read this book, and then I was like the master of iambic pentameter because I was the only one who read the book.
Yeah.
Really got
Because
it.
once it clicks, it's like, of course it's in meter. Of course it's metered verse.
We should
like,
talk like that.
We should. And then
Yeah.
when the kids are my kids are actors and they're taking Shakespeare now too, and they're like, some of his plays are just straight out, just it's so obvious, in sooth I know not why I am so sad. And you just go, oh shit, of course it. But then others are not, and then you realize that it's a spoken medium. It was written to be spoken.
Yeah. Well, that's why a lot of people fall asleep when they're reading it. Because
exactly.
It's not
As
meant
have
to
I.
be read at all. And back in the day, they used to give actors just their lines. Like they wouldn't even read the whole play. They just
don't
"Here are
worry
your
about
lines.
that. Don't worry
Get
about
out
that.
there."
They talk blah 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 blah. My turn.
Yeah, it's incredible. I did fall in love with Shakespeare though. There.
Oh, me too.
I mean, I really did. Also,
So great.
Robin, she taught us that Suzuki training. Did you do that?
Yep. Yeah. No, that was okay. That was Robin Hunt. Yeah.
Robin Hunt,
And her husband was head of after John or after Jack left. Jack Clay left.
Jack
her
Clay,
husband took over the MFA, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Well, we're really digging deep here.
Stephen Hunt, is it Stephen?
Stephen Hunt, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
She had us do so Suzuki training was basically based on dance, maybe Tai
Like the
Chi,
stomp.
maybe some martial arts, and basically this guy named Tadashi Suzuki in Japan developed this whole technique because he thought actors weren't good enough. He thought that he couldn't train them fast enough. So he could not train. He's like, no. So he designed.
There's got to be a
whole,
physical manifestation that I can teach them to bring it in.
So he designed this very militant
Yeah.
thing, and he had a stick, and he would hit the ground. I never met him, but Robin went and trained with him for years, and it was super. I thought it was kind of a fascinating, but it's a really weird way to start your acting career.
Especially from a Western stage standpoint.
Yeah.
It's, it's kind of the antithesis of what we're
when do I
talking.
get to talk?
Right. Like, can I feel? Am I allowed to feel?
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. You're not allowed to feel. That was the thing when I did the play with them, and I mean, it was powerful stuff. The people that trained with us were like They were like athletes. Yeah. And they had that stick, and they would hit the ground. They go ichi, ni, san, shi, ro, and every time they hit the stick, you had to come up like in a different pose.
Yeah.
And then also the first day was just walking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I feel like I did a lot of walking in grad school too.
Did you?
Just walking. And the same tap combination for 3 years.
Yeah.
And
you did a lot of tap at Temple? We
had to do tap, ballet, jazz, all of it.
That's awesome.
But they were the same routines for the 3 years.
Really?
So we did this Martha Graham extension studies for 3 years, to the same old scratchy album. While our teacher Kathy Giranella chain smoked Pall Malls in the classroom. Dance teacher. Coming like, Kathy, oh my God, a little bit hungover and I have cramps. She's like, eat a banana. Shut up. Go to the bar.
Oh, that's great.
Don't get hammered before my class.
So, and I had a Tai Chi teacher at Cal Arts. Who would have one cigarette. She was incredible, Sherry Chernish, but she would have one cigarette in one hand and a cup of coffee in the other in the morning as we were starting our Tai Chi.
Coffee smelled so good.
Yes,
you're like,
great.
God damn, I just want some coffee.
I just want. Can we all have coffee and a cigarette?
Yeah.
So you went to drama school there. What made you leave Seattle?
I was a junior at UW and the dean of the School of Drama, or it might have been the dean of, all undergrads. I don't remember, but he said you have to basically declare a major. So I declared theater finally when I was like a junior, and then senior year I was doing a play, and I was like I think it was a fifth year at this point, and I was like, shit, what am I going to do now? Yeah. And I heard about some of the kids that were applying for and auditioning for grad school at URTAS. So I said, well, hell, I'll go to grad school. So I just signed up for the URTAS, which is the University Resident Theater Association. Those are sort of localized auditions to go to grad school, and every school that's in the URTAS system will visit the West Coast, Midwest, and back east.
Did you go down to like Portland or someplace? And
I auditioned in I had to fly to Long Beach because we were doing.
Oh yeah, that's what I did too. I did the same thing. I went to Long Beach, went to URTAS.
Long Beach, and then the callback was at Northwestern in Evanston. But it was because I was doing a play at the time, and it conflicted directly. And then I'll never forget the heads of the MFA program where they're just like, "Where the fuck have you been?" Like I was like, "I've been here for 5 years." Like you obviously didn't go see Comedy of Errors or anything else.
Same experience myself. I had the same experience.
I've been right here in class.
I was there, and I remember my last year, Barry Witham said to me, Joel, next year is going to be so great for you. And I said, what do you mean next year? It's my senior year.
He's like, I'm done, Barry. I'm done. Yeah, I'm not doing the fifth year.
My UW experience, I mean, I think it might have been because I was a little bit like hiding or something, or maybe I thought I was an imposter, but I think I was sort of invisible there. I did some plays, and I remember it was called the Glenn Hughes Playhouse.
Glenn Hughes Playhouse.
Yeah, I did some plays where like I held the spear and stuff, and I learned a lot about theater. I learned everything I know about theater. I learned there, but didn't do a lot of performing.
Hold on, this is. I don't know why. I thought I unplugged this thing.
Okay. This is live. I'm gonna play a clip from the middle.
It's live. Yeah, that's the Bay. That's the Bay Animal Hospital, reminding us about George's appointment.
Is that your dog?
Yeah, she's a Shih Tzu. I don't know where she is.
We love having animals on the show. I'm going to play another
I'll bring
clip.
her in.
I'm going to play another
Okay,
clip.
let's see it.
You know, Mike, dealing with piddly stuff like pretzels for the employees wouldn't be a concern for our regional manager.
Well, good for him.
Good for you.
Did you guys stop at happy hour on the way over here?
No. What we're trying to say, Mike, is we'd like to offer you the job of regional manager.
Seriously? I thought you already passed me over for that.
Yeah, well, that was 2 years ago, and we clearly made a mistake hiring someone from the outside.
Yeah, we had to fire that guy for getting handsy with the female staffers. He's running for Congress now. Yeah.
All right, that's in the middle.
funny.
So you do comedy and drama, of course.
Sure. I mean, whatever I can get, really, dude. I mean, I've never been able to. I tried to respond to Vernus's and a couple other people's.
It's hard to chat back. It's hard. You just do it
Right.
verbally.
I can see them all, so just know I can see you all, and I'm saying hi, and so great to meet you too. And sorry I'm backlit. That was a rookie. It's a rookie move to have a window directly behind my head, like a dumbass.
It's
so
okay,
sorry,
though.
guys.
It looks fine. No, it looks totally fine for me. Don't even worry about it. So, okay, so you went to Temple University. How was that different from?
Oh, it was significantly different for me because it's complete immersion, MFA conservatory training. So every day is speech, voice, dance, theater arts, theater history, and then you do production, whatever production you're doing in the evening. So as an MFA student, you're pretty much guaranteed casting. It may not be the casting that you want, and believe me, it wasn't, but you're going to be cast in the show, right?
I think
so you're
that's
not gonna
why
be
you and I probably went to graduate school, because we were like, in undergrad, we didn't
Wanted
get
to
to
do some
act
plays.
that much.
Wanted to do some plays.
I just and those graduate students at the UW, they were doing all kinds of plays. They were like, oh, I
those
need to do
guys
one of
are
those.
chill, yeah. And directing. They were directing and playwriting, having a great time. I'm like, wow, that looks like a great theater experience.
Where do I build a set, and how do I make a costume?
I was making. I literally made when we took lighting design, dude.
Yeah.
I literally made my lighting plot like on a one of those, like a folder. It's like a Manila folder, and you had to. That's for whatever reason you had to have your little plastic thing that had all the different kinds of lights on it. So when I submitted it to the lighting professor, who
was a genius, by the way.
He was a genius, and he won award after award after award.
Yeah.
In lighting design, and come here, George, come here, let's say hi.
All right.
I submitted it to him. He goes, "That's pretty cool. It would literally overload any theater in the country because it would
burn the actors off the stage."
Yeah, exploding Fresnels and Licos everywhere. The theater would blow up. The whole block would blow up. You can't put all those lines in this. Like a rock concert.
That's hilarious.
I'm like, look cool to me.
Hey,
a lot of units.
Oh God, there are a lot of things that I didn't grasp. I walked out of there just never grasping 3-point lighting, all that stuff, but there was a lot. It was just, I was over my head. But anyway, it got me started. And so yeah.
And you appreciate what they do.
I appreciate it. Because I can build the door, I can walk through it.
Yeah.
Right?
You could break it too.
I could break it. I could build my own costumes.
Shut it. You could break the whole frame. You shut it too hard, Just
I could light the hell out of anybody with some burn them off the stage. So you went to grad school. I got to move this forward a little bit. But look at that.
That's Georgia. Say hi. Where you
Hi.
go? Where you looking? Where you looking? There you go. Hey, where are you looking?
Here. It's always hard to get them to look because they are just like, why are you looking at that thing?
We don't see two-dimensional screens, human.
Just leave me alone. All I see is lights.
Yeah. It's like, where's my treat?
God, that's hilarious. So
yeah.
Okay. I think probably University of Washington gave you an appreciation for theaters because you went to all these great places. You know what I mean? You went to Temple University, which is very good. You went and studied with Uta Hagen. You went to the Actors Theater in Louisville. You knew where to go.
Well, right? And also even in Seattle, the Rep and Seattle Children's Theater. There's so many incredible theaters.
Kind of goal just to do the Seattle Rep. But I went there.
A lot of people
after the UW. I was like, okay, I'm ready to go. And they were like, you look like you're 12. Get out of here.
Right.
Go someplace else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can be an apprentice in the scene shop for 5 years.
I'm like, no.
And we will not pay you. And you can do some light collating in the front office. Yeah. And you can make a Dick's run for us and coffee. You can go to Seattle's Best Coffee for us.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Oh God.
And I think he'll grow a lot. I think he'll learn and grow a lot if you.
Of course, because if you can get the coffee and
and not screw up the order, I think you'll grow as an actor.
If you can get a pizza for us too. Well,
you can go to North Lake Tavern and get me that gigantic
Pagliacci's.
Oh, dude, so the other day when I was listening to your show and chiming in a little bit, man, I need an Ivers fix like you don't even understand.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I can't find really good fish and chips in Los Angeles. I know it exists, but it's just not the same. And I need it's the tartar at Ivers, the fries, the fish, the light breading, and the chowder, and the clams. The clams.
The clams, and it's probably a good thing we're not having that because probably we'd have an instant heart attack.
Oh yeah. Well, that shit's gone out the window in COVID, dude.
Oh, I know. The ice cream is flowing over here. It's flowing.
And my middle daughter loves to bake, so I should be like 420 right now.
I know. There's gonna be some real labor going on, a little hard labor after this. After we get out of this thing.
My doctor looked at my blood work. He's like, "What the fuck have you been doing?
What are you doing?"
Guys, I'm 53 now, so it's like I'm 53. What do you want?
I
mean, come on,
I know. Yeah. Come on. What do you want from me?
Yeah, come on.
Come on.
Okay,
that's pretty
I'm
good.
already I'm not eating breakfast. Okay,
pretty good, right?
Intermittent fasting.
I'm
going 16 hours without a meal. I wake up starving. My stomach is like eating itself in the morning.
Do you do
I try to make it till noon.
For that 8-hour window, you just eat everything in sight.
Yeah, I call it the feeding trough.
Me too. It does not work for me.
Feeding an 8-hour feeding trough. I'm pretty sure that counteracts everything that is the principle of intermittent fasting.
Totally. I'm gonna move us to a different location because I think my video. Oh, look
what
at
beach
this.
is that? Hey, is that Stevens Pass or is that
I'm thinking
Alpental?
it might be Snoqualmie because there's only like one lift, right? It's
one side of Snoqualmie.
Someplace.
Alpental would be on the other side.
Right.
There's like a different name for that side. I don't remember. It's been a long time, but I used to teach. I was an apprentice instructor at Alpental.
I was
in high school.
I was a ski instructor, but sort of in name only.
Sure.
I forget
You
where
didn't actually get paid. You're just like, hey, do you want a lesson?
I think it was like Hyatt or something, or it was one of these, little ones. And you got a free lift ticket. And
dude, that's the only reason I did it.
That's why we did it.
Season pass.
And then we went up there and we just ski all the time. But also, I did have to teach one little kid one time. And on the way, when we were getting off the lift at the top, I didn't realize the little kids, their feet don't quite touch the ground. So I got off the lift and the kid didn't. And went around.
He didn't, and he just went around.
They had to stop the lift. The kid started crying. It was terrible.
Oh, yeah. I've had some kids on there where they just do a gnarly tip plant into the ramp, so they forget to put their tips up, so they just go, and then they just go,
and that's your fault.
On that icy ramp.
That's your fault,
that's
John.
100% bad
100%.
instructor.
Yeah, keep
I was like,
I
meant to
he's
tell
been
you,
doing intermittent fasting too. Fog eating 8 hours a day. Yeah, the intermittent fasting works if you eat normally during the 8-hour period. But if you don't...
Yeah, well, that's the key. But also, after you do your fast and you skip your breakfast, at 1 o'clock, if you go to Jersey Mike's and have a giant number 42 with extra meat, it just then
doesn't work.
Yeah,
it just does not work. In fact, I think it makes it worse because eventually you start cheating on the fast part too, and you are eating the ice cream in the middle of the night. And you're like, oh well, I guess I'll start my fast after this, and then the next day you're kind of like,
you're so goddamn hungry from your fast that you just have the lunch you would normally never eat.
Again, intermittent fasting only works for people that have some kind of sense of control. And those people don't need to do intermittent fasting.
And then if you add a bottle of red to that at 8 o'clock at night, and there happens to be a bag of, say, Kirkland chips, cheese, and salsa nearby.
Oh, last night I was like, there's a bag of potato chips, and I was like, I shouldn't eat those. But then I thought, well, it's jalapeno and cheddar. I don't think I've ever had that before. I better try it. So then
I better try it because
you got to try it
because I haven't within my reach.
Yeah, what happens if
it's right there?
Don't ever have that?
What happens if I got hit by a bus tomorrow and never had jalapeno cheddar?
Yeah, that would be terrible. So so now I want to talk to you about Uta Hagen because where did you come across Uta Hagen? We always knew her as the Respect for Acting, teacher. She wrote that book, and she's also, I guess, she was part of the group theater, right?
Yeah.
And she taught some of the greats.
She taught some of the greats, and her husband did too. And I had a teacher, I had a professor at Temple who only taught us Uda for like two out of the 3 years. So we did respect for acting. And then we did the second one, which she kind of like disavowed the first one. But anyway, we studied those books. And so we did all the exercises in class. So when I got to New York and she was still teaching at HB Studios, she was getting up there. And she was also doing a play with David Hyde Pierce at the time. So she would sort of come and go sometimes. But I was like, I've got to teach, because she's a legend and it wasn't that expensive. So you had to audition for her advanced class. And I did, and I got in. And there's about 20 of us maybe.
Yeah.
And one day, I was going to class, and you have to bring all your props. You have to completely create your environment.
That's the thing about her. Like my wife took Berghoff Studios, and she said she'd just have to fill like a subway car with her home belongings.
You look like a homeless person. If you had a grocery cart, so much the better. But we would bring massive like backpacks, like camping backpacks full of stuff. So one day, for whatever reason, I had a bunch of auditions and I had class later, and I didn't bring all my shit. My scene partner was supposed to bring a bunch of stuff. So I show up with like virtually nothing, like my backpack and whatever.
No. And that's like the worst crime you can commit.
What the fuck is that? She's like, you think that's preparation for you? Like you're not going to last 10 minutes in this class. You bring your stuff. You bring your props. Right? And she got, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry. And then I always brought my props after that. But she didn't mess around because she didn't have time. She's like, if you're not
serious,
want to be here,
forget it.
Now
I've read her book, but it's a long time ago. Can you give us a little idea of what the method is that she uses? I mean, maybe it's been a while, but
it's been a long time. I've got the book here somewhere.
Could you read a chapter of the book?
It's totally ingrained in my process. Right. I can't articulate it
at all. I don't even think about it anymore. It's just a part of my cells. In fact, I had that.
It's so intensely ingrained in my process as an actor that I really can't even articulate.
You are looking at it. This is it. I don't, no more explanation. No. Okay.
We did entrances. Yeah. I remember entrances into the space. So we would work like a whole day on entering a space authentically, like coming through the door, entering, or dealing with a found object, or like.
I just had a horrible realization when I went to CalArts. I was in the directing class, and they cast me in Death of a Salesman, and it's the part where Biff walks in on Willie Loman with the prostitute. And every class, the guy wouldn't let me walk in the door. He had me stand outside the door for weeks on weeks and weeks while they like made love in the bed or whatever. It was horrible. And I was so frustrated. But this guy must have been like an Uta Hagen person because he was like working on the entrance.
He was building up to you actually entering the scene.
Yeah. And everybody was making fun of me.
He's like, no, Joe. Yeah. You're not ready to enter.
I wasn't ready.
But it says right here. It says right here on page 5. Like he walks in on them.
It says on page 1.
Right. Yeah. You're not ready to enter the scene.
That's what was happening. That's what was happening.
For 2 weeks. Oh, so imagine how profound you had visualized that scene.
I don't think I ever walked in. Finally, that guy like.
Yeah, his class is over. You just never got in the scene.
Never got in that
Willie
scene.
Loman didn't even. Biff never
so frustrating. It's Uta Hagen's
Biff
fault.
never saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. And I remember she talked about like, becoming an alcoholic. She talked about people, don't get too into your, your vices or your booze, because the downtime between jobs will, a lot of people got destroyed, with drugs and alcohol and
it's true.
Things like that. Right. So, but yeah, there's so many things. I'm embarrassed now to
no, you've said a lot.
Because you totally put me on the spot.
I know.
Hey,
I know.
How about that really cool thing about Chekhov? Joel,
let me tell you about Chekhov.
What can you tell me? What did you get from your Chekhov training?
I got nothing.
Just off the top of your head.
Actually, I was the prop master on the Seagull, and
perfect.
And this is not Michael Chekhov. This is the original Chekhov, and I didn't understand the play at all. Chekhov. And I almost got kicked out of the University of Washington because we did tequila shots one night because it was Halloween. So there's my Chekhov for you. And that, but that was, if I had Udo Hagen, she would have said, "Hey, don't do tequila shots."
She would have said, at least don't do it right. She enjoyed a gin and tonic, but she would have said,
Not
don't
during
get
the show.
wasted the night before your Chekhov scenes.
Yeah.
So we had so many scenes of the Seagull. And after like 2 years of conservatory, we all just knew what the other actors were going to do in our class before they even knew it. So we're so over, like everybody was so over each other and knew what the performance, and we would just make fun. We could like do impressions of each other doing Chekhov and one time my friend Marcus, our professor Kevin, he was playing Yakov, and he's like a laborer. He doesn't do much in Siegel, and one day he goes to Marcus like, listen, look at her. She's talking about Kim Rhodes, we had some pretty successful people in my grad school class, and afterwards, obviously, and she's like, look at her. She's bearing her soul. What are you doing? Just go to sleep under the stage. Just go. Walk out. Go climb under the stage and go to sleep.
It's hilarious.
I was like, wow. I don't
Okay.
remember that.
Wow. Yeah. That's.
Guys,
are you sure?
grad school was gnarly, man.
Was it tough?
I almost got kicked out of grad school for I was listening to the third years in the locker room one day. They were all going down to audition for the Wilma Theater, which is a great little equity house in downtown Philly. And so I was like, it was a new play. I heard him talking about it. I'm like, bullshit. And I was a first year, not supposed to audition for anything. Mm-hmm. And I went down, I auditioned, I got the job. And I did, unbeknownst to all my faculty. So I went to the head of the program. I'm like, Dougal MacArthur, man, listen, I booked this show at the Wilma. There's 3 more weeks of class, but rehearsals start. So can I do it? And will you take care of it with the rest of the faculty? And he's like, I will do it for you. I will. You're not supposed to work outside, but I will do it for you. Yeah. And then he doesn't tell anyone.
Oh.
And so I go to rehearsal.
No.
And I skip, Joe Leonardo's theater history class when I'm supposed to give my presentation on Brecht, my big, that's my whole grade basically. I just blow it off and go to rehearsal, and I got an F. So you can't get an F in grad school because they'll kick you out. You can't get anything below a C.
The problem with grad school is they just throw you out of there.
Yeah, they'll just kick you out,
and
they don't even really need
loans, and you're like, oh no.
Right. Yeah, Carnegie Mellon got sued for that because they let a junior go, and the parents sued them. Like, you can't just let them go arbitrarily, terrible. And we've got all this. It's awful. So anyway, I had to go begging on my hands and knees, begging back to Joe, and I had to retake theater history with the first years. I had to retake the whole class the next year. So as a third year, I took that's the only way I didn't get kicked out of grad school.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah. So I want to ask you, like, after you got out of grad school, what did you do? Because like you've had a prolific career. How did you hit the ground running? Obviously, you're good because you keep getting cast, but also because in the story, as we've been talking along, you audition for something, you get it. So that's, obviously you're very good. So, but what did you do after grad school? Because, grad school or undergrad, they don't always teach you how the business works.
No.
And so how did you figure it out?
That would be my major complaint about academia in general. I think it's better now, like certainly NYU, certain programs are much better now about making that transition. They have a lot of working actors that come in and give seminars and give workshops and stuff, whereas we didn't have any of that. But I was going to come to LA. That was my plan as a West Coast kid. I didn't plan on staying back east. And my buddy Jimmy Ludwig, who was an MFA student at UW, had an apartment up on 105th in Amsterdam in New York. And he called me one day. He's like, listen, man, I know you did your LA showcase. You did your New York showcase. I don't know how much interest you got either way, but I got a lot of interest in New York from agents and a little bit in LA, but not much. So he's like, listen, dude, why don't you just come to New York for a while and just check it out and see if you like it. And I got a room for you. It's only $465 a month in a 3-bedroom, like pre-war apartment, really cheap. And I had a motorcycle. So I was like, well, I'll bring that and I can get around. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. So I just loaded up the U-Haul and drove with my brother-in-law and my stepdad back to New York. We moved everything from Philly. I basically boxed everything up. And I think I just UPS'd a lot of it. And moved to New York. And that was 93 maybe, 93. Yeah. But because of the showcase, I was able to sign theatrically with Fifi Oscard, and then I signed commercially with Don Buchwald and Associates. So I hit the ground running with representation. I don't know how kids just roll in with nothing and just build it from, with classes and stuff and getting reps and putting a reel together. But I got lucky and I was doing theater, and then that's when I started to audition for regional theater and Broadway and
is that how
he
you
thought I was going to
wound
play.
up there at Actors Theater in Louisville? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I auditioned. All that was from New York.
Yeah.
So I auditioned all the regional theater credits that I've done have been from New York. And they would occasionally Actors Theater Louisville would bring LA people out if they knew you, but they weren't doing like an active casting search usually back then. In the day, it was pretty much all New York. It was all guess I could bring that mic closer. You sound a lot better. That's how it happened. I went to an open call downtown at the Equity Building in Midtown, auditioned for a play called The Hasty Heart, the Caldwell Theater Company in Boca Raton, Florida. And that was my first regional gig. It was from an open call.
Wow.
And
was that like a full-on rep theater, or was it like a dinner theater, or what was
it was like a theater for old people that did all the chestnuts. It was like a 500-seat house, maybe Lord C, Lord D, whatever it was. Paid $500 a week. I was stoked. I'm like, $500 a week to act professionally. I couldn't. I was on the moon. I was over the moon. I couldn't believe it. And so I went down there and did The Hasty Heart. This old Patrick
Shanley.
No. John's. He did Tea House of the August Moon. Anyway, I'm blanking. I'm old and my brain doesn't
Maybe
work
somebody in
anymore.
the chat room can tell us. Furnace.
They'll be like, never heard of that place. Sorry. And this is the most boring thing I've literally ever watched.
I love it.
Like some dude just spewing his resume for an hour. You're like, dude. Joel's like, I've interviewed a lot of people, but I haven't wanted to literally kill myself yet.
Never heard of it.
But I might have
Hasty Heart dissertation.
The Hasty Heart.
I'm actually Googling it. I can't even find out. Like Wikipedia doesn't even tell me who wrote it.
The Hasty Heart. Yeah. Tea House of the August Moon.
It is John
up,
Patrick. John Patrick is the guy's
John
name.
Patrick.
That's why we were saying John Patrick. Or whatever.
He said, "You want to make it in this business, kid." Now they're all my impressions are sounding the same. It's like, "You want to make it." That's not. He was more effete than that. He's quite an effete older man, and he's like, "You want to make it in this business? You're gonna need talent, taste, and tenacity. Ooh. Don't ever forget it."
Wow.
And I expected him to ask me to do like room after that, and I was like, "I can't do that."
You two are having too much fun today. Oh, we've the fun police. Pam, you're the fun police. No, it's good.
What should we instead do, Pam? We're like,
hopefully y'all have fun.
It's too early to start drinking. It's only 12:45 here, Pacific time.
Did you go out to LA after that, or what? How long?
1999.
Yeah.
I met my to-be wife. We were on the subway platform of 86th and Broadway.
Yeah.
And I had just come from a horrific implosion of an audition for Jekyll and Hyde in the smallest Upper West Side apartment I'd ever been in, which is really unusual because they usually they get a rehearsal space to at least audition you in, right?
Yeah.
But no. And he goes, I was like, it was like shell shocked. I was like, I've never bombed anything that badly.
Really?
Ever. And so I go down to 86 and Broadway, I go through the subway, turnstile, and I'm standing there, and this blonde, this smoking hot blonde is standing there, and she's got her like little character shoes on, because you can tell, the actor, musical theater character T-strap shoe with a heel. It's like that giveaway for actors. Anyway, and she looks at me, and I'm putting my score of Jekyll and Hyde away, and she's like, "You going to an audition?" I go, "No, but you are." And she's like, "Yeah, I'm going down to sing for Opera Cat in Germany, blah, blah, blah." Because she's a coloratura soprano from Northwestern School of Music. So she had just been on the road with Phantom and now lived in New York. And then I met Anne, and we talked all the way down to Times Square. And then I called her that night. I did not obey the 2-day waiting period.
Totally blew
because
it.
It's New York.
Somehow.
Like if she's not batshit
you gotta
crazy,
grab it when
like
you
if
can.
she's like sort of sane and that beautiful, someone is going to ask her out quickly.
Yeah, and what if they called you? What if they snaked in there between your phone call meeting?
It could have happened between her auditions. She was going down to 890 Broadway. I mean, it could.
Right.
She could
all
meet
kinds
a
of people
Wall Street. She could meet a bond trader between the Enter the R train and 890. So you got to call, man. I mean, that's my theory. Like, if you're serious,
you got to jump on it.
Because
and I don't mean jump on it.
Plus, it's New York.
I don't mean jump on it. But you got to call.
jump on it. Well, eventually, but
yeah, you don't play the game. You don't play those games. I don't play games.
You don't wait like that. I never understood the 2-day waiting period bullshit. Like, who waits 2 days if she's if she's worth it?
And she's gonna be impressed. She's gonna be like, oh, that guy waited 2 days.
Oh yeah, you're being so cagey.
He's so much cooler than me. I better. He's a real catch.
Right.
All right, I'm going to show a couple of clips here. One is from Station 19. Is it called Station?
You don't have to, but thanks.
I want to do it. I want to do it. And there's an Avatar one too, which is cool. All right, here we go.
That's a classic.
Here we go. Oh.
How much longer are we going to be stuck here?
We don't know, sir. They're repairing the train as we speak.
Is that it?
Because I have an important meeting in 20 minutes. And I can't call to push it because there's no cell signal in this stupid tunnel. Thanks for nothing. Bird flu? I'm not a bird. It's not even that big a deal.
We could die.
It's that kid, isn't it? He brought it on this train with the coughing and the blood. I haven't been anywhere near this kid. I will sue your ass if you try to keep me against my will. Everyone on this train is a plaintiff.
Sir, calm down. Parents not gonna help anything.
Screw that. I'm not waiting. I don't feel sick. Does anyone else? I feel sick. And maybe being stuck in a metal can with some stupid kid barfing up blood is what's gonna get us all sick.
Don't talk about my boy like that.
Oh, patient zero?
We should listen to the paramedics. We're here to help you guys.
Shut it, rent-a-cop. I'm getting the hell out of here. I think we should all get the hell out of here. Who's with me?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's
go.
Doesn't look like him.
It's him.
You Jake Sully?
Slip off, you're ruining my good mood.
It's about your brother. Your brother represented a significant investment. We'd like to talk to you about taking over his contract.
And since your genome is identical to his, you could step into his shoes, so to speak.
You are, Vernus said you're great. You really are a good actor. I mean, I really appreciate your work.
Thank you, Vernus. That's very sweet. That interesting fun fact about that Avatar scene is that guy who plays, I was suit number 2, he's suit number 1.
Yeah.
Cameron got really creative with those two names. So suit number 1 was from the University of Washington.
No way.
He was a drama student before me.
No way.
And he was a waiter at Bellevue Benjamin's.
Yeah.
And I was a busboy, and I was literally his busboy in high school when he was at UW. And awesome. Then we're sitting at LAX after we had booked Avatar, and we're sitting in the first class lounge. Like, I don't know if I'd ever flown first at that point. I was well, maybe once, but not internationally, certainly. And we're sitting there, we're having a cocktail, and this dude kind of comes up to me. And he kind of like a good-looking guy. He kind of looks like an actor. So I'm like, "Are you going to New Zealand?" He's like, "Yeah." "Are you?" I'm like, "Yeah." And so we started chatting, and we hit it off right away. We're having drinks. We're about halfway across the Pacific, and this like 17-hour flight or whatever it is, and I was like, he's like, I know you. I just cannot figure this out. I know you. Turns out we realized that he was the waiter at Bellevue Benjamin's, and I was the busboy, and he went to UW, and I went to UW after him.
Oh my God.
And so then we were 3 weeks in New Zealand, eating and drinking, and I probably putting on 10 pounds from when I actually auditioned for the role. I'll be unrecognizable at that point. They're like, "Who the fuck is this guy? That's not suit number 2. It's not what he looked like."
Who shrunk all the suits? What happened?
Oh, right. It's like my 44 reg does not fit anymore. My belly is hanging over it. And so we tried to run and work out like every day, but we were just partying at night and having such a good time and eating amazing food in New Zealand. In Wellington.
God.
So
what a great
that was
time
a really fun. It was such a special job, and so I was so grateful. And working with Cameron was just like he's a genius. I mean, the guy he literally designs the subs that descend down to the Marianas Trench. Now he said, "I'm going to do the next few avatars to fund my submarine exploration habit." Basically, he's a genius.
He's like Elon Musk
in all areas.
Yeah,
and he will work. He'll work 18 hours. He'll shoot 18 hours, and he will then go home to his apartment or wherever he's staying, his house, and then he'll edit the dailies and make a rough cut of the dailies and just start playing around with, and then he'll get up and he'll sleep for a few hours and then go do it all over again. Like I don't know when he sleeps.
Amazing these people that are like in these kind of directorial positions or places where they could just tell people what to do, but then they also know how to do things. I mean, they know how to edit.
He knows how to.
they probably better than a lot of people, and then they also know about
Yeah.
oceanography. And I mean,
Right.
we all have only so many hours in the day. How is this guy doing that? It's incredible.
And then he had, and then the studio cut him off when he was shooting Titanic, and then he finished it with his own money, and then it became the highest grossing film of all time. And then Avatar became the highest grossing film of all time. It's like the guy is like
Not
so
to mention
next level.
Terminator and all these other things.
Terminator, all
Yeah.
the Terminators. I mean, he's one of my heroes.
What about
for sure.
Spielberg? You worked with Spielberg too, right?
Yeah, super
Bridge of
cool. I
Spies?
didn't work as long with him.
Yeah.
It was only a few days, but and they radically cut my scene down, but
That's just what
for whatever reason. But he was amazing. We're standing in a tent outside. We were shooting on a U-2. We were shooting on an Air Force base in Northern California, which actually housed like current flying U-2 spy planes, right? Because the SR-71 doesn't exist anymore. So it's all U-2s now. And we were there stationed. We were there with this, fully functioning base, and they had access to all the pilots, and it was amazing. And we were in this little tent shooting one day, and he wanted the scene where we were getting briefed about the mission, or we were briefing the pilots or whatever. And he distinctly wanted like the tent to be moving, the wind to be like physically moving the tent, because he was inspired by this scene in Lawrence of Arabia when he was younger that he had seen, where this lighting fixture was just like squeakily hanging because the desert winds were just kicking up and just rattling this tent. And he got really into how profoundly that scene, for whatever, like he was reproducing it because he really loved it. And he just talked for about 20 minutes about what his vision was for the scene. And I was just like, it's been over. I just sat there. And then he's like, yeah, don't. And then his direction was like, yeah, don't indicate when you talk about the gun or something. Don't take a beat there.
It's really about this lantern. It's really about the
like
lantern.
you don't have to set that up at all. Just say it. And I'm like, okay, Steven, thank you.
Oh my god!
And that was the extent of my direction from him, because I had a really small part.
Wow, that is super cool.
But it's weird. You never know. Like, if I was to say anything to any aspiring actor, that you don't, even though it might be a small role in a film or TV or even a play, like you really know, especially in film and television, you have no idea how that role is going to evolve. Like a play is fairly finite. It's written. You're going to play that role 8 nights a week. If theater ever comes back, I sure hope it does. But with film and television, your role can evolve and it can grow, and frequently does, and it can become something entirely different from how the original script was presented and written. And every actor who's starting out should know that. Like the whole, there's no small roles, only small actors thing is true also. But I get that, at least. Like you don't have to. You get to a certain point, you don't have to go do those anymore. But I do, because I'm not to that point. But every role has the potential to really expand and grow and become recurring on television or whatever. And if they love you, like maybe the executive, like Shonda Rhimes, famously, she plucked that kid, Anthony, the young man that's in the subway scene in Station 19. She plucked him right out of there and made him a series regular in Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah,
he did a guest star. He's a series regular in Grey's Anatomy. She's famous for that. And she's great.
It totally makes sense. We were talking about this the other day on the show, is that, a lot of times people write themselves out because they judge something. They get a script and they're like, I'm not going to do this because of the script, because they think it's like the writing's bad or whatever. And then they don't, then they don't put their best foot forward. And then maybe they didn't realize how the thing fit into the bigger puzzle, or maybe the thing's going to be rewritten. It's like, you can't be judging things. You have to be just saying yes, 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 Because unless you're like number one on the call sheet and you've been doing the show for 5 years, and it's so ingrained in you as an as a producer and or actor that like you're a co-creator. But these writers have season arcs that they've thought about long and hard, and the other writers, so it may seem absurd to you in the moment, and not, and like it doesn't fit or it offends your sensibilities as an actor or whatever. You have no idea where it is in the long-term arc of the storyline for the season. Yeah.
And so it evolves. The writers' meetings are fluid, crazy events where things, someone gets an idea, a stroke of genius, whatever, and then an entire first act will be rewritten because they came up with a better idea. I mean, it happens. I mean, they write right down to the last, especially in comedy. You're getting revisions right down into the moment you shoot.
Yeah,
well, that's common in comedy in a half hour, you know. But it's a great industry. It's never dull. It's never dull. I've been very lucky. I'd like to work more. I don't know a single guy my age, you know, who hasn't been a series regular. I mean, that's really the trick.
For you now with the whole like, we're having to tape auditions and do all that stuff. Do you have to do that a lot?
Yeah, we've had to make we've had to make a pretty radical pivot there because, like I said, my 3 daughters do it as well.
Yeah.
So at any given
your
time,
whole family's acting. Oh my God, that's great. But
so
it must be crazy. Must be crazy.
It's insane, dude. Just trying to shoot a scene for audition, because you have to do everything now. We have to light it. We have to put the big, huge backdrop up, the gray backdrop. We got to light it with you got 2 box lights and a ring light. And then my wife, God bless her soul, edits it. I can't. I'm technically inept. I'm because I'm a liberal arts major. I am thoroughly technically inept. Like, this is a miracle of science right here. That I'm able to even dial into this or do a voiceover from home is a miracle. So she then edits it.
Yeah.
And the whole process can take like 3+ hours from soup to nuts.
Yeah, I know.
Getting the kid or me off book.
Yeah.
Rehearsing it so it's not awful, right?
Yeah.
Shooting it a couple different takes, then doing a slate, and then having to send all these different files or upload them.
And it's always different. They're like, yeah, we need you to have a slate, and we need you to say your height, and we need you to say where you live, and we need to do this, and then and then we need you to name the file this particular way, and see, you have to like read that stuff really closely because it's different.
You do, and because if you mislabel it, they'll just
throw it out. Yeah.
They just won't even watch you. You spent 3.5 hours shooting that thing.
You're like, that's his name wrong. Delete.
You're like, nope, sorry, you didn't.
Sorry, didn't upload to the thing.
You didn't name your slate correctly, so we can't consider you.
Sometimes I think they're trying to just drive us crazy.
Oh, they have. It's not just that they're
like,
weed it out.
I'm gonna tell them to say the what kind of shoes they're wearing in the slate.
Yeah.
If they don't say it,
casting just wants to weed your ass out, man. There's just too many people. So my favorite thing now is in voiceover. Yeah. There's a couple production companies in voiceover that they're like, don't slate. Don't you slate your name.
Really?
Nothing.
They don't like it.
Just start. Like, you label it in the subject line of your email, but don't you dare tell us your name. And that will offend us beyond all sensibilities.
Oh God!
Don't
have different
slate.
Rules.
Okay.
All right.
I won't slate. Whoa. I won't upset you by telling you my name.
We're upsetting. Actors are upsetting.
Right. That guy, Jon Curry, he slates on everything. It's like he wants you to know he's up for the role. It's the weirdest thing. He just slates all over the place.
What a jerk!
He's
He's always saying his name.
I mean,
it's like Denny.
It says
Crane.
right here, don't slate, and yet he says his name.
And yet he does. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay, got a quick contest for you. I know we're kind of going over time, but I want to do this contest because it's kind of fun. Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
Get ready. There's Boney, yeah. So, okay, so this is Seattle to Los Angeles, it's called.
Yeah.
It's the lunch therapy game. All right, and so here we go. So basically, there's going to be some things from Seattle and some things from Los Angeles, and you have to tell me what they are. And it's kind of easy.
I'm getting in on the mic on this one.
Okay, here's something.
All right.
You don't even know if it's in Seattle. You don't know if it's in Los Angeles. What do you think it is?
You know what? Because it kind of looks like a little bit like the Disney concert hall, but it's not.
It's not.
So I think I'm going to go Seattle on that.
Yeah.
Is it an art museum in Seattle?
It's pretty close. Pretty close.
What is it?
I'm going to show you some. Oh no, I'm going to have to tell you. It's the Seattle Public Library.
Public Library. When was this one built? How recent
God only
is that?
knows. Not since I've been gone. Since you've been gone too, I think.
I've lived there for 30 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you go back?
Miss it.
Did you go back?
To see Mom. Mom's in Port Angeles.
Okay. I love Port Angeles.
She moved from Mercer Island to Port Angeles.
Yeah.
It's nice out there.
My parents.
That's LA.
That's LA. What is it?
Yeah. Is it Union Station? What is it?
It is the LA Public Library. 2 libraries in a row.
Dude, I should have known.
I know.
You're trying to.
There's a little bit
at
of
least
that.
Spoon feed it to me. Like,
there's a little bit of that going on. I even have a quote from the LA Public Library. What it says in Latin there. It says, like runners, they bear on the lamp of life.
That is awesome.
There you go. So, okay, so
Union,
now you know.
Union Station looked amazing in the Oscars, by the way. They did
Oh,
a
yeah,
nice
it did,
job.
didn't it? That was wild.
I know what that is because you were referencing it the other day. It's the Bubbleator from the Seattle Center.
Good call, the Bubbleator.
I remember
that's
that.
a kid driving the Bubbleator.
That's so awesome. See, the old school Seattle Center from the World's Fair was the coolest thing ever. They should never have touched it.
I don't
they
know
should
why
have left
they
the
would do
same
that.
fountain with the rocks around the base of the fountain, the Bubbleator, the monorail's still there.
Yeah.
But
Apparently they're redoing the monorail, I think, a little bit too. So hopefully it'll be better. I mean, not better. Hopefully it'll retain its space quality.
Yeah, the Space Needle. Going to the that's Seattle Center right there for sure.
That is and what is that particular place?
That was built during the World's Fair, right?
Yeah.
In like what, 68 was that?
62.
62. What is that courtyard thing with the arches specifically? I don't know. Yeah. What is it?
Pacific Science Center.
Pacific Science Center, of course.
You
haven't talked. Have you had Bill Nye the Science Guy on your show yet?
No, but he's going to be next, I'm sure. We got to get him on, right?
He's like a legend, man.
He's a legend.
You were talking about local Seattle programming the other day.
Yeah.
You're right. I hadn't thought of that, but it was like a mecca for small market TV.
What about Joel McHale? He went to Mercer Island, right?
Yeah, was he UW also?
Yeah,
I think he was.
Grad school.
Wow. And then Kyle McLaughlin was UW grad school.
Definitely.
And then another couple, Jim Caviezel.
Jim Caviezel.
Am I pulling that out on my? I think
he's something to do with Seattle. He also now apparently he's like deep into the QAnon stuff. Have you noticed? Have you found?
Oh, then I can't. I could never talk about that guy. What a d-bag.
So I don't even know if I want to. I don't know if I want to.
No, don't even open that can of worms. Then we'll have a bunch of like.
If anyone knows what's going on, hopefully he'll come to his senses.
That's the shuttle, which is down at the California Science Center. Of course, you just brought it up. But I've been there with my kids. I love it. It's incredible to be that close to the shuttle, like right underneath it. You can almost touch it. It's so close. You
I
can't
remember when they
touch
brought it through town. They brought it through town. That was crazy.
That was amazing.
All right.
That was amazing.
What about this?
That's the funicular thingy, right?
Funicular.
In LA.
That was good. I think you get points for that for sure.
Yeah. Which hill it's on, I always forget. It's near Angel's Flight, so it's near downtown. And then is that the station for it on the left?
That's the station at the top. It's beautiful, really.
I've never been on it, but I've seen it. I want to go down there.
It's the shortest railway in the continental United States or something
Angel's
like that.
Flight.
I don't know. So this place, of course.
Original Starbucks, Pike Place Market.
Yeah.
We used to go there with my dad, and we would go get humbao at that that dim sum place, bakery, just Chinese bakery in the market.
Remember when there was just one? Do you remember
Starbucks? Oh yeah. Yeah, in fact, the reason that I had to switch to Americanos is when Starbucks came to New York, the latte was like $5. I'm like, I'm not paying $5 for a latte.
I moved to Chicago after UW, and I was like, where can I get a cup of coffee? And they're like, well, there's a diner over there. And I'm like, no, not with like the saucer and cup. I want it like in a paper cup. And they're like, well, maybe at like a bagel place or something like that.
Yeah.
That was when I probably should have started my, Starbucks franchise.
I talked about this every single day at Temple University. There's no good coffee anywhere near Temple. And you go to the trucks, the food trucks, because we didn't even have a proper commissary to go eat at.
Yeah.
So these food trucks, and you get the blue Greek cup with the little designs, like Grecian designs on it.
Yeah.
A coffee regular was with milk and sugar, and then like shake it up.
New York's like that too. I'm like, that's not regular. Regular would be just black coffee, right? Wouldn't that be regular?
4 shots of espresso and some hot water and a little breve or something or whatever. And they're like,
do something with this, man.
We could have made a fortune if we had started coffee
we
back
were totally told the secret, and for some reason I was like, what? And then I went back to Chicago years later, and there was a Starbucks on every corner.
Yeah. I remember. Is that the CPK? That's the totally CPK. Is that in Beverly Hills CPK?
Yeah, that's the very first CPK. So
I didn't know it was the first one, but I've eaten
Starbucks there. First. I was the host there. That's the only reason I know.
I love that. I think I've sat on that little patio before. Yeah. Had the tortilla soup, one of my favorites.
Oh man, I still love Pete's Kitchen. Okay, this place.
Oh, me too. That's L.A. Yeah? No? Nope. I don't know. Tell me. I have no idea.
Museum. They now call it.
Cool.
They now call it the Mopop.
The Mopop.
I didn't call it that one. when I
Is that Seattle? That must be after
Seattle.
our time.
That's Seattle.
That's
Yes,
after our
that's
time.
after our time. That's why it's.
Yep.
This
now
is
that's
during our time.
There's the Disney Concert Center, Disney Concert Venue. Yep. Which
both of those are designed by Frank Gehry. Both those buildings.
Okay, I'm told that it has incredible acoustics, like some of the
it's
finest in the world.
Wild. Pretty wild. Okay, this place.
Oh gosh.
Oh, it's at Husky Stadium.
Oh, down to Washington. One of the coolest things. Hey Trevor, speaking of the first Red Robin, I got my first waiting job during when I was a pledge at the Teak House. I got a job at Red Robin right across the little cut there across from the campus, and I was a waiter with my little red bow tie. That was the first Red
Robin, right? That was the first one.
That was the first one. Whiskey River Barbecued Chicken Burger.
I always felt like that was going to fall off the hill.
It looked like it was. It was tiny.
Right,
it was tiny. I mean, I think it was probably only like 12 tables in there.
My high school girlfriend, Vanessa, she was a manager at the Red Robin.
Oh, yeah. That Red Robin?
Well, no, the one at
Vanessa
the
what?
Alderwood Mall.
Alderwood Mall.
No, not
Vanessa
Alderwood,
what?
no. The other mall. No, I don't even
Bellevue
know.
Square?
No.
Bellevue Square.
The first mall ever, I think it was. The one.
The first mall ever.
Trevor Stewart. Let's see what Brian says. Maybe Brian Thurber.
Hey, Thurber. What
was the mall called? We're ridiculous. I'm ridiculous that I don't know what this mall is called. But anyway, it was the mall.
Okay, it's in North Seattle? It's in North.
Well, I grew up in Edmonds, so you drive into Seattle, and the mall would be on the left-hand side. And I'm totally blanking on it. Anyway, that's where she worked.
There's nothing cooler than Special Forces parachuting in before a game at Husky Stadium. I mean, I tell people all the time, it's the most incredible venue in college football, bar none.
Yeah.
But people don't really realize it until they go there, and then they come across the lake in a big yacht, and you arrive and watch a game.
Finally, Northgate Mall.
Northgate Mall.
I'm terrible with the chat room and then interrupting my guests.
No, do it.
Yes.
We can interrupt me anytime. I'm not that interesting. So Red Robin. There's all roads lead to Red Robin. Plus, it's like I went to get a burger the other day at Five Guys, which is delicious, and it was like $18 for burger, fries, and a Coke. And I was like, well, if I'm going to pay that, I want to go to Red Robin and get bottomless fries. And get waited on.
The other thing about Red Robin is they had the best video games back in the day.
Oh yeah.
That was where you went to play all the video games, and then you ate a delicious burger. When my girlfriend worked there, though, I got free food.
Oh,
I got super fat. I was like 240 pounds. I'm telling you.
Oh, I believe
just
it.
From just tanking down that.
My mom used to work at Jungle Gyms in Bellevue Square.
Oh really? Oh, those were cool.
Gyms?
Yeah, it was like a jungle in there.
Yeah, it was kind of like the Rainforest Cafe, but jungle-y, and all the waiters had like the little hard hat on and their little jungle attire. That place had good burgers too.
It did. Okay, we got one more place, and it's this place.
Oh yeah, that's the.
I did. I keep doing this. I keep showing the answer. That's the Rose Bowl.
That's the granddaddy, Flaky Jake's. Yeah,
Flaky
totally,
Jake's.
I love
Flaky Jake's. Remember that? We used to go there.
Burger.
Oh,
Design your own burger.
Yeah, that was a good time. That didn't last very long, I don't think.
It didn't.
From what I heard, all the waiters and waitresses, they ate the profits.
It's possible. Also, there was a couple other rip-off chains in the Midwest that were the same concept, and I can't remember what they're called.
Fuddruckers.
Anyway, Fuddruckers. Boom. Exactly. The Rose Bowl. I have to say, we would drive. We'd get in an RV and we'd come down from Washington to go to Rose Bowls because, of course, we were there during the powerhouse. And the national championship and all that. And it was such fun. We would just take an 18-hour drive. Yeah. And the fact that an 18-year-old was driving like 22 other kids, me sending my 18-year-old, I don't have any boys, but me sending myself and to say, you're going to drive the majority of the way while we're getting hammered in the back of the RV. Like that sounds like a terrible,
it's a recipe
terrible idea.
For disaster.
I would never let my daughters do that.
Oh my God! I went to the last Rose Bowl when the Huskies played at Ohio State.
Me too. Ohio State.
Were you? I think every Husky in the general vicinity was there. It was so packed.
Horrible.
Yeah,
it was so horrible. We left in the third quarter just when the dogs
started coming back. Yeah,
because we were so depressed.
Yeah,
we're like, we got to go to In-N-Out. This is ridiculous. We're starving.
Screw this. We went and got pizza.
Yeah, it was going to be like 42-7 at that point, and then the Dogs mount to come back in the third quarter.
We listened to it on the
We're
radio.
listening
Probably
to it on the
you did
radio.
too. Yeah,
like,
we did the same.
Oh my God, they might come back.
They might. And then we left. Thank God they didn't come back. We would have been kicking ourselves. I went with my parents though, and it was like, it was such a swarm. That I was like worried about them. They're just walking around. There's just a ton of Husky fans there.
We should have had. We really should have had a better team. That was last year. It's been really it's been tough. Husky football's been tough.
I don't know where it's going, man.
This year I have no idea how they look at all.
Me either.
All right, but I'm going to go see them play Michigan.
You are?
In Ann Arbor. Mm-hmm.
I remember going to the Rose Bowl when they played Michigan Wolverines, and my friend's dad worked for Sports Illustrated, so he got us tickets. But they were right in the middle of all the Michigan fans.
Oh, that's the worst.
It was horrible, and then we lost.
That is the worst.
We lost.
I did that in Colorado. Oh yeah,
you just
even
feel
worse.
like opening up a vein after that.
And they're all mocking you.
Yeah,
I did that in the 50-yard line of Colorado in a Colorado game, and we won, thank God. But they were like, "How much did you pay for these tickets?" I'm like, "Doesn't matter. We're on the 50-yard line and mixed it with all you guys, and you seem like great people, but we're gonna kick your ass." And we did.
Oh, good. Thank God. Thank God.
I know. I was really scared.
Oh my God. Okay, we gotta end the show. But do you were you a JP Patches fan? I just gotta ask.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. I went to a JP Patches show once.
Well, then you will appreciate this little clip here. I don't know if you've ever seen this. Should be fun.
No way.
You've never seen this? Have you ever seen it? I love this.
My name is JP Patches. Everyone say hi, JP. Do we have some Patches pals out there?
Is that you?
Okay, if you're a Patches pal, hold up your foot.
This is in, I don't know, early 90s.
Good. Okay, I have an announcement to make. May I have your attention, please? This is kind of a serious announcement.
This is at the Key Arena.
I need your attention. The concert has been canceled.
Who's he opening for?
Soundgarden.
Oh, sweet.
Isn't this great?
I have a feeling you don't believe me.
They're going to come on in a second. He's doing his JP thing.
Okay, are you guys having fun tonight? Who did you come to see? You're supposed to say me. Let's try it again. Who'd you come to see tonight?
Soundgarden.
Would you rather have me here or Soundgarden? I could take a hint, and here they are.
He set himself up.
How old is he? Is he past now?
Yeah, he's gone.
That's a pretty cool intro, JP Patches.
Isn't that cool?
I haven't thought about it. And there was, what was her face that always used to fall in the hole right outside his door?
Gertrude. Gertrude?
Yeah, Gertrude.
Yeah. I was gonna put that in the thing. I was gonna put the City Hall in Los Angeles and then the City Dump, but I forgot to do it. It's gonna be one of our quizzes. All right, this has been super fun.
This has been great.
Yeah, I really enjoyed having you on the show. I do a thing at the end where I do a dance break. I dance around. I'm not going to subject you to that, but I play like a cover song from YouTube. So
I love it. Thank you, Trevor.
Yeah, Trevor, great show. It's great having you here.
You said
Trevor.
Wednesdays are tough. It's tough to get the viewers on the Wednesday for some reason.
Yeah, huh? Actually, we're moving the show now next week to Tuesdays and Fridays.
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm going to try that schedule out because people are starting to get back to their life and stuff like that. So we're
I'll do my best to spread the word, man.
Yeah,
I really
spread the word.
I enjoy the variety of people that you have. It's not just
fun. And share this thing around. I to those people that love to hear two guys just have a good time.
Oh, it's the best. Dude, you made me laugh so many times today, and it was a treat.
Yeah, cool. All right, John, I'm going to let you go.
Okay, bud.
Thanks so much for being here, and we'll talk soon. I mean, now we're
JoelMarshall.com, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we'll have an adult beverage.
All right.
JoelMarshall.com.
All right.
Learn
see
it,
you later.
know it, live it.
Thanks for the plug. All right. Here we go. Dance break time.
For those of you who come
This is
to
my
my
buddy.
live shows, you know that I love to open my set with this song. It's because it's a good tune.
I love this guy. Adam Pearce. That was super fun. Having Jon on the show. Thanks everybody for being here. Pass this around. Some actor friends. Some friends of yours from Seattle. Huskies.
Keep from riding, and I'm bound to keep on riding. And I got one more silver dollar.
This guy's great, Adam Pearce.
I'm not gonna let 'em catch me, no. I'm not gonna let 'em catch the midnight ride. Oh.
Impersonator Jim Meskimen on Friday.
The clothes I'm wearing, and the road goes on forever. And I've got one more silver dollar, but I'm not gonna let 'em catch me, no. I'm not gonna let 'em catch the midnight ride. Oh.
Go to Adam Pearce on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel. This little solo. It's from another song, right? All right, thank you, Adam Pearce. Thank you, Jon Curry. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Trevor Stewart, Vernus, and of course, Brian Thurber. Thanks so much. See you all on Friday.